I really like this guy's channel, Timothy Ward. I don't listen to it all the time, but there's a lot of good videos he has. Yep. So I got sick and lost my job. I pointed out, and I've been out of work for just almost a month now. Um, I'm looking at the job market and seeing what's out there, and there's places hiring, yeah, but it's like, what am I gonna do with $14 an hour? It's like, you know, I'm not gonna drive 45 minutes to make $17 an hour. I'm just not going to do that. The job I had was probably the best paying job in my area, which is really sad for blue collar. But even that job, it was kind of like I'm just getting by. And like some people might look at my video and say, "Oh, especially people on the right, they'll say, "Oh, you should want to work for $14 an hour." Or whatever. These people are usually the people that are well off themselves, or like they were down and out, like kind of like how the average person is nowadays, where they're like, yeah, I back in my day, but like things are way different. Things are way more expensive. Um, like they don't correlate like how much. Oh, I only made $4 an hour back when I was doing it. But yeah, but like how much were you paying for gas? How much were you paying for rent? How much were you paying for a car and car insurance and health insurance? Everything is just way too expensive. Health insurance, health insurance is a luxury to me at this point. Um, like I don't see like what I'm paying for if I'm having to pay a deductible and co-pays, and why am I paying a premium? What's the point? It's just like all these, and I'm not advocating for violence, so like don't commit violence, but like why did Luigi do what he did? You know? Why are there so many people supporting why he did what he did? Because these CEOs are making like 200, 300 more times than the lowest paid worker for the company. And it's like it's like an oligarchy with these um, corporations, and they don't care about their employees. All they care about is like record profits every single quarter. They don't think long term. Like how can we sustain this? Like this was really cool about his channel. Like about that video. What happened to consumerism when everyone's too broke to consume? It's like, yeah, what are we supposed to do? Like, okay, like I'll just try to get some more credit. Nobody's giving me credit. Okay, well, I'm tapped out there. Well, okay, my job isn't paying me enough to pay my bills. um and it's like, yeah, we're doing the right things. Like basically, I have become a shut-in economically because of like, well, go to college. Like, yeah, you know how many people went to college and then they screwed themselves? Like, we don't even know what jobs are going to be here in the next couple years. I'm sitting here thinking like most of the office jobs are going to be replaced by AI because like the advancement of AI. Why would you keep having these people just sitting here in the office doing nothing? What, for the nostalgia? Like nobody likes going to work. We got Elon Musk and Trump out here saying you have to go back to work for federal employees. When their job can be easily done at home, and then we could sell those buildings off. Um, people are taking less money to stay at home and become a remote worker because it's just like it doesn't make any sense for me to. I can do what I'm doing at home. I have an internet connection. I have a computer. Why do I have to go to the office and do the same thing and just like do my work in like 4 hours or 5 hours, and then I'm just like twiddling my thumbs trying to act like I'm doing work. Like watch the movie Office Space, man. That's like, you know, I'm not an office person. I've never been an office worker, but like that's what's happening now. Like people don't feel any type of, people just don't care. Um, you know, all the people at the top just keep taking and taking and taking. They don't give anything back. It's just like our government. The government and the corporations seem very similar. Like everything just goes to the top. They don't invest anything at the bottom. Like I've worked at like so many different places in my life, and the common denominator is like the equipment sucks. Like, you know, they don't invest in equipment that well. I'm using crappy equipment. Crappy environments. And this goes like so many places. And then you just see like these people at the top, which I don't have a problem with people at the top living a better life than me. I don't have a problem with that. But when it comes to the point where they're living like kings and stuff, and they have like yachts and Lear jets and we're like how much longer, and they're like forcing us to work overtime to keep our job. When it comes to that point, it's like, when are you going to come down and help us out? No, you're just going to sit in the office. And some of that's with the unions too. Like places like the unions have a problem with office people working and helping out. And it's like, there was a huge change with Ford. Ford changed the game back in the day, and that's something that we need too. They implemented 40-hour work weeks, and then they upped people's wages to like $5 an hour. Unprecedented, like back then. So everyone wanted to work there. What company is going to step up and do this themselves? Like, you have these so many billions in assets, and like, you don't care about your workers. You don't care about the long term. Like, all you care about is right now. You don't care about the future. You don't have any long term thinking at all. Like, a lot of these companies don't have any long term thinking. We're seeing like these judges like put restrictions on audits for our government. These politicians are just making, they're so rich. Like, that's supposed to be like a public service. Like, all of these people just think that they're like overlords over us. And people are going to get to the point where things start breaking, and we can't afford to eat. We become homeless, and we're going to have like these buildings that just get boarded up, and then you have all these people out that are homeless. But you have all these rich people, like we're living in slums, and these rich people that really don't provide. They're basically parasites. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, they're the CEO. It's like, what are they doing to produce anything? Like, yeah, maybe when they were a startup, like, yeah, but like when you get to a point where you, like Elon Musk, man, like, I think he's doing a lot of good things. Like, he's actually like donating his time. Pretty much like Trump, they're actually like donating their time for the good of humanity. That's why I respect those two. These people are billionaires. Like, they are kings. They don't have to do anything, and they can just go live their life on a yacht somewhere, go live in an island somewhere, and not have to worry about this crap anymore. Because they actually like care. That's what I'm saying. Like, why isn't there any other companies that seem like they care about their employees? When you got like Walmart or McDonald's, like these fast food places, these are jobs, man. Like, why are the taxpayer having to pay these people's health insurance if these, like, there's no benefits? And if you're not going to give a benefit, health insurance isn't a benefit. If I have to pay for my health insurance, like, I don't mind paying for it, a little bit of it, but if I'm going to have to, like, if they're going to give me like huge deductibles and co-pays, it's not a benefit. If I have to, like, if I get seriously hurt and I have to use my health insurance and I have to go over $9,000, $11,000 deductible for them to even want to pay for anything, I'm already bankrupt. What the fuck do I care if I have health insurance or not? It's like a status symbol at this point. Because these hospitals have to help you anyway. So it's just like, it sucks, but like, I know our healthcare is better than a lot of other places on this planet, but it's a luxury to have health insurance, man. Like, and that's where we're at. And it wasn't like that. And, Obamacare, we go into all that, but like, when Obamacare came in, my health insurance, I could see it just, every single year I got a raise, it basically, the health insurance wiped it out. I didn't get a raise. I didn't get a cost of living raise because my health insurance just kept going up. So just like, yeah, okay, I got a cost of living raise, but it's just like it only covered my health insurance. It didn't cover like inflation. And that's what people are getting. And it's like, how much longer can we sustain this society of a trust-based society when you got the top people at the top, whether it's the government or the corporations, just taking in, and then they waste it. They just waste the wealth, or they just sit on it, and they don't do anything for the communities. Like, look at our country, man. Our government has like trillions of dollars or whatever, and then we have all our infrastructure is shit. Look at our infrastructure. Look at these, some of these places in our major cities, like the third world country type of environments. I don't want to even be caught dead in these places, man. Every place in America, if we're like supposed to be like the most wealthiest country in the world, should just be, all of our cities should be immaculate. All of our cities should just be completely beautiful, and they're not. I don't understand the logic of owning a 8,000 foot square mansion. I understand the logic of like wanting to live away from people, but you know how much it takes to sustain that house? And then they have multiple houses like this. Like, that's a problem, man. Like, it's such ego driven, and there's no compassion for anybody else. Like, I know how people, and I feel bad for other countries that are third world countries. I wish we get to a place where there's abundance for everybody. As long as people don't waste it. And that's another thing, is there's waste too. Like, there's waste on our level, there's waste on the top level, and I don't like to waste things, but like what that guy was saying, Timothy Ward, I think his name's Timothy Ward. Like, what happens when we just can't afford nothing no more? Like, how are we gonna keep getting money? But maybe they want us to go to a depression. But you're gonna have people that act out and go after rich people, man. You're gonna have people with pitchforks go after you. You're gonna have a French Revolution. I'm hoping that Trump can do a lot of good changes to correct this. But we also need the companies on board too that are gonna be like, hey, we need to pay these people right. Like, why don't you, like, we're only paying them $15 an hour, and it costs $21 an hour to sustain yourself here. Like, seriously, you guys need to do some studying. Like, where I'm at, it costs $21 an hour to sustain myself. In a shitty apartment. Like, I'm not living it up. I'm living in a shitty apartment. And I'm thankful for it. Like, I'm not, like, okay, like my tub. Like, I'll show you guys. Like, my tub. It's absolutely ridiculous. I paid $1,000. Like, this is how I moved in, man. What is this right here? This is a mat. This is to keep the water from there's like a big hole or something. There's like a big hole there, so they put that over it. That's how I moved in. I mean, look at my sink. Look at my sink, man. Look at this. What is this crap? When I start cleaning this, it takes the paint off. And I don't know what the hell this is up here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I moved in, and there's like these yellow spots. I don't know if there's like a leak, but I try to clean it, and it's like, what what's going on? Why am I paying so much for this? You know, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, we're paying all this money to live like crap. And I don't need the nicest things. I'm fine living in this situation. I've lived in this type of situation for a long time. But it's like, why do I have to pay so much for it? You know, we have our government last week give $59 million to house illegals in luxury hotels in New York. Use that $59 million and get them the fuck out of here. What the hell, man? That's a problem. We can't just flood this place when we have a housing crisis, when people can't even afford to buy a house. If we had less like people, or more houses, more places for people to live, prices would come down because you would have more places that are vacant. And that's, if you own a property, you don't want vacant. You don't want to own a commercial property and it's vacant. You don't want to own a residential property and it's vacant, because you're not making money. You're losing money. You have to maintain it. You have to like make sure that your pipes don't burst. So you have to, keep the temperature at a certain amount. You have to like pay property taxes. Like, where I'm at, it's cold. So like. Yeah, it becomes a money pit. So you want people. It's like the hospital to justify, having an establishment where people can come to pay for it all. You have to have customers. So like, if you don't have sick people, then you won't have any income, and. You know what I mean? We need to change our mentality. We need like these people at top to stop. I don't know if they're not thinking. I don't know if they don't. Are they not like? Are they oblivious to what's going on? Like, seriously, like, are these people in such a bubble? Like, it's all over the internet. Like, this is all over the internet. People are saying like what I'm saying. Like, there's so many people at my level that are, like. You people are out of touch with reality. Why don't you come in and do it? Why don't you just like try to like, work at your own place, man, and leave your money where it's at. Yeah, this is what you should do. You should get a place like I have, a car like I have. My car's okay. It's newer. I'm still paying on it. Be in my situation, man, and straddle yourself with debt too. Don't just come in here like debt free. No, come in our situation and see it. That's what these people need. They need to come in our situation. I've seen these rich people like, oh, I need to take an ice bath, or like making things hard on themselves. Make things hard. Come down to our level, man, and do what we're doing. How and then maybe you might be like it's kind of like the Bosses show, where people would switch things. Like, the boss would come down into our reality and they would see this is what they need. This is what they need to see. I bet you if they're one of these CEOs who want to like make it, like make a name for themselves, if they were to do that and like film it, willingly, like live stream it, and then like, yeah, even if they're a prominent figure and the people know who they are, like yeah, I'm living like you, and don't do anything extra. Don't use your resources. But they won't. And that's the problem, is these people are so out of touch. It's just like the regular people who, we rely on slave labor to buy small, our goods. Like the Democrats are over here like, well, who's going to work the fields if you get the illegals out of here? How are you going to have cheap prices for your avocados if we don't have slave labor? It's like, are you listening to yourself? Do you not care about the kids in Congo where they're working and like they're doing slave labor, and they have really bad working conditions just so we can have our cell phones. Like, there's no love for anybody. There's no care for anybody at all. And people at our level too. It's the whole system needs to be reformed. We have to, because at some point it's going to end up. I think it would have ended really quickly with the Democrats. But we're going to see what Trump can do, and that does give people hope. And that's the only reason why I don't think that we haven't like just destroyed ourselves at this point. Like I'm not making any threats. This is my observation. You rich people, anybody can be touched on this planet. Trump was almost killed twice. Anybody can be touched. It doesn't matter how wealthy you are, how famous you are. If somebody wants to take you out, they're going to take you out. You know, all this stuff coming out with these judges that are trying to defend the government waste, or these like stop like from it coming out, or these politicians who are like fighting for government waste. Like, when people see that, and it's not just like, no, they're gonna end up like actually coming for you. Like, these judges, they're actually like, your name's out there. People can find you. You know, like, you're not invincible. I'm not invincible. Anybody can come for me. And like I said, it's not a threat. And I'm not trying to give people ideas. I mean, Luigi already gave, like, he's already the baseline. Like, he's already done it. So, like, I wish that these people, it might take that. It might take more Luigis for people to, like, these rich people are like, dude, like, this is bad. And I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that, like, CEOs, like, and politicians realize what the fuck they're doing to us. And they just, like, we steer course. We try to change things. That's what I want. I want civilization to continue. And I think it's going to continue. But people need to fucking wake up, especially the rich people. So, yeah.